Flesh cannot give birth to the Spirit. Only the Spirit can give birth to the Spirit. So God himself came for people who were here left in the dark. People like Nicodemus. People like you and for me. He came for that neighbor, that coworker, that cashier that you like at the store. Jesus speaks of himself. And where he says that the Son of Man must be lifted up so that everyone who believes in him will have eternal life. And this is the context for this, what I think is probably the most famous verse in all the Bible, John 3:16. You know it? Say it with me. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. And the verse continues and says that Jesus did not come to condemn the world, but to save the world. John 3:16 is rightly one of the most well-known and beloved scriptures in the Bible because it tells us so much about God in such a compact way. Out of God's great love for this world, including all of humanity, including you and me, out of God's great love for us, he sent us his own Son. He sent us Jesus Christ. And that is the rescue plan. That is God's rescue plan that he's enabling and unfolding out of love. We are freed from sin. We are freed from brokenness. The sin that drove people to crucify Jesus would be part of the healing act in which you and I can inherit the eternal life. This was part of God's rescue plan. Jesus is God's gift. His gift of love for you and for me, for our benefit and for God's glory. Jesus is God's rescue plan to save you from a life of condemnation. It is God who gives you a fresh start to be born from above. Jesus is the healing face of God that was lifted up on the cross. And that's where that John 3:16 image comes from, of being given by God the Father. And it continues. Here's verses 17 and 18. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe stands condemned already because they have not believed in the name of God's one and only Son. Friends, Jesus is God's gift. It's not about earning Jesus. It's not about earning his grace and forgiveness. It's God's goodness generously being given to us through his one and only Son. And through Christ, you can be free from condemnation. You can be free from a life of living in the shadows of shame, of sorrow. You can have a genuine fresh start and be born again, be born of the Spirit.